Greetings to all of humanity. It's really a joy. It's my pleasure. It's always an honor to be greeting and bring this message of emancipation to you, whereby I'm pointing you to look in order to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I want to speak to you concerning honoring your ancestors. And that is why I would have named this channel Abdullah and Neville Goddard. Now, to many, Neville Goddard is their ancestor, and they have all right to speak about their ancestor and to uplift their ancestor. So you cannot expect them to speak of another, and that is why I take the opportunity to always highlight Abdullah and the work of Abdullah, which was done through Neville Goddard, because Abdullah was the mentor of Neville Goddard, or the teacher of Neville Goddard, and this teaching that Abdullah administered to Neville, it goes all the way back to thousands of years ago, even when they were philosophers way back in China. And Abdullah reminded Neville about that according to the words of Neville also. And Neville clearly stated that Abdullah wear a turban. Now, if he says that Abdullah wear a turban, you got to read between the lines. And he came from Ethiopia, the cradle of all civilization. Therefore, my brother and my sisters, you have to read between the lines when he also said that everything to Abdullah was symbology. Because Abdullah knew that there has always been a language of symbology. And Abdullah pointed out to Neville concerning the pyramid and the Sphinx. So, my brother, my sisters, it's always very important to have pictures of your ancestors in remembrance of what they would have done. And you want to look at ancestors who would have taught you to know who you are and who would have taught about the mind. People like Marcus Garvey. People who tell you to emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And people who would point you all the way back to our spiritual system, our true spirituality way before slavery. These are the ancestors that we must uplift. These are the ancestors that we must remember. And there's so many of them. And I want to state clearly that there is a reason why Abdullah had to choose Neville Goddard. And when we chase Neville Goddard family tree and go all the way back, we see that he came from a family that did own slaves. Okay, and as I would have said before in videos, I have the evidence of that, and I have the link for anyone who wants to read of the article that was written in Barbados by the one who would have interviewed Richard Goddard. Okay, and Richard Goddard speak about they owning slave way back and had owned certain lands, and they were forfeited from their lands and so on. Okay, now all of that is to show you something also, and to show you that Abdullah came also from a lineage of from a mystical lineage. Okay, and this mystical bloodline is still here. This mystical lineage is still here, and we have to carry on the work and know for sure that all those great liberators who would have fought in the time of slavery to free the slaves who were on plantation, that these men and women, they were not just trying to escape the plantation. They were trying to save our spirituality, our spiritual system. Okay, we have always had a spiritual system. That's why we can see faction of it throughout the diaspora. Okay, that's why you have all of these different farms. Even here in the Caribbean, like you have the spiritual Baptist, you have the Shango, you have the Orisha and so on. You know, and in Africa you have the Yoruba and so on. You have those people who are the original descendant of Egypt, the Nubians and so on, okay, where they have to even, go with their own, brothers and sisters to try to keep the lineage still going. Okay, I've seen someone who actually went there and filmed, okay, these people who are still there, who are actually the original people. Okay, when you look at also down in Australia, you see the Aborigines, which are black people who were there before, and they always, the Europeans always come and conquer the people and push them back and take their lands, because you see, land is power. Okay, that's why the land of Africa, you see so many people want to take the land of Africa, and they're moving in different ways, because our people fail to realize that our ancestors had a system of spirituality, and we always have to uplift our ancestors. There are many people who get offended of me always speaking about Abdullah and try to, attack me, okay, for speaking against my ancestor. But I want to say to you, these other people, when they get together, who do you think they speak about? They speak about the ancestors. And when they teach their children, about their ancestors, okay, and they teach their children how their ancestors would have enslaved us, and they try to raise, many of them try to raise the children to make them believe that black people must always be the slave and they are higher than black people. Okay, and that's the truth, and no one tells me that. Okay, I just know that because I can pick it up. Okay, and I want to say to you, that is why we have to instill in the minds of our children the power of our ancestors and how they use certain science to fight against the oppression that they would have faced through the time of slavery, especially those in Haiti. So we have to teach our children not to speak of voodoo and those things as being evil, but to understand that it is a science and the people have to use it to defend themselves, and that every science that is used, it can use destructively, I can use creatively. Okay, that's why we have to use this kind of mind science along with nature to lift ourselves higher. Okay, so my brother and my sisters, I'm saying all of this to show you also whereby even Neville Goddard, from his words, and if you listen to his lecture, it destroys all of secular Christianity and the lie that was fed to you about the Jesus and Mary story. And if you have listened to me, I would have gone even further than where Neville Goddard would have taken you, where the promise is concerned, speaking of that I within man, where that I open or awakes within me. And we see our ancestors have always believed in that I, that single I within man. And we see that mystical order way back in antiquity and way back in Kemet. And that I in man is the intelligence. And so my brother and my sisters, that is why, it's very important to learn more about our ancestors and to uplift them and to have pictures, drawings of them in your homes, not just building an altar and so on, because it's not about calling upon them, but remembering what they stood for. That is what is very much important. And that is why I always see it fit to speak about Abdullah being the teacher of Neville Goddard, and no one can change that. It has always been so, and it will always be so, because anyone with common sense would realize that all civilizations begin in Africa. Even those who believe in secular Christianity, they make them believe that places like Egypt and so on, that they are somewhere in the Middle East and so on, when they are in Africa. So my brother, my sisters, there's a lot for us to learn. And I want to say to you, when I became more aware and more enlightened, I come to realize that enlightenment is basically showing me how much I do not know. Okay, and that is why I don't try to speak on things that I do not have any experience from. But I take note from nature. I allow nature to be my teacher. And I know that our ancestors have been always connected with nature. Okay, and even as I always share concerning my own experience of the burning bush that doesn't consume, and the man that came out of that burning bush, it was a man just like me, a melanated man just like me, just in his African garment, okay, and give me my commission. So I am not here to try to get or try to compromise to get views or to kiss anyone's behind. Okay, like I see many are doing. You see, there are people I see who have millions, of views. I'm not thinking about people who look like me. Okay, just speaking about Neville, and fail to realize that what they are doing in praising another people, ancestor, and just bigging up their ancestor. But I have to big up my ancestor. Okay. I listen to people like Wayne Dyer, Bob Proctor. Many of these people, they never speak about Abdullah, and you can't vex with them because that's not their ancestor. But Abdullah is my ancestor. I've seen many ignorant ones always praising Neville, and especially some of them who are so religious. When they now get this message, they say, I want to come and chill in here. I want to have billions of dollars, and they fail to realize money is fake. It is fake. It's not real. This nothing wrong here is real. When you really wake up, it's not real. We use it. Okay, and I will never speak evil of money either. I appreciate it and I love it, and I will use it. And I would encourage anyone to have as much as they can have in order to help to uplift others and to teach them how to really manifest it and how to use it wisely in their lives. But it's not real. Yeah. When you fall asleep, nothing is real. Everything disappears. And you have to know that. Or you will get trapped in a world where you're just solving these things and fail to realize that you are the creator, beholding the creation. You are the perceiver, beholding the perception, and these things are just creation and perception. Okay? So, my brother and my sisters, the whole thing I'm trying to get across to you is to love your ancestors, uplift your ancestors, embrace your ancestors. Okay? Some of them speak loud to me and some don't. For example, Martin Luther King Jr. For me, he was pointing too much to the sky. You know what I mean? Still pointing out people to believe in some sort of sky god. And the kind of thing that he was teaching, I believe right now, is to go beyond that. Okay? Because those who want to keep in mental slavery, and I'm speaking from experience because I remember I confronted some missionaries who come to these parts and want to brainwash the people, and was deliberately brainwashing the people, and I can prove it because I did prove it, okay? Because I know what is their weakness, and they know what is our weakness because they would have studied us, okay? And because I know what was their weakness, I have them to confess certain things to me, okay? And so because of that, right, when I confronted them, one thing they asked me, what do I think about Martin Luther King Jr.? And when I told them he's a sellout, he pointed too much to some sky god and so on, they went into silence and so on. They didn't even want to talk to me anymore. You see, because they want you to believe what they want you to believe, and they want you to accept what they want you to accept. But I'm saying to you, my brother, my sisters, big up your ancestors, love your ancestors, appreciate your ancestors. Teach your children about your ancestors. And one of the things that is very hurtful to me is the educational system in my country and throughout the entire Caribbean and Africa and all of these places. I think it is high time for us to stop teach our children about any form of slavery and teach them of what we had before slavery. If you teach them that concerning the dynasties and concerning the richest man that ever walked the face of this earth, and show them it looks just like them, and show them the cradle of civilization, show them about the pyramid and the Sphinx and all of these things, and show them about the mind and how the mind works, I believe that would be very, very helpful to raise a people out of mental slavery. Okay, but in school, when I really think about it, it's very hurtful to me to see that's all they was feeding in my mind. And up to this day, they're feeding such a stupidity in our children's mind. And all they're doing in countries like my country is just preparing the children in school for a job to get a work, instead of to show them that greatness is within them and to create a balance between employer and employee. So many of them will become the employer also, but no, it's the other way around in my country. So sometimes when you see I come and I speak, I have to get these things out of me, okay? Because this message is not just about the law in manifesting things, because those who jump on the Neville bandwagon and the narrative about Neville, they are pushing something that is keeping you in an imaginary temporary mindset, a wall of the temporary mindset. It's a game. So once it can keep you in this temporary imaginary wall mindset, okay, you're gonna believe that money is actually so real, and you're gonna get caught up in the game and get trapped in the game. So you're gonna compromise, you're gonna kiss ass, you're gonna make videos a certain kind of way to please certain people. I remember when I would have written the book, The Black Mystic from Ethiopia, Neville Goddard's mentor. Okay, I remember a woman who actually born in America and came here, and she was telling me, no, your book is too radical. White people wouldn't buy it. I wasn't writing it for white people. I was writing it for our people to wake up. I was writing the truth, and I was writing under the influence and guidance of my ancestors who've been contacting me and been with me since I was a child, but I didn't know. You understand? And that is why I would not change from being a man of truth. I would not change from being one who would stand up for what is right, because I know who I was in a past life and I know what I stood for. And I'm here to teach our people how they must embrace the ancestors. Love your ancestors. Love. You see, our people like to talk about cookout and all of these things in their backyard and do all of these things. No. When you have your cookout, don't just drink and eat. No. Speak about your ancestors. Always speak about the ancestors over and over and over, and the great things they would have done. Speak about how they won the war in Haiti back in that time, how they won the wars in Jamaica and so on. Show them. Tell them about Toussaint Louverture. Tell them about Bookman and these kind of people. Tell them the truth. So my brother, my sisters, this video is kind of a different, everybody want to have you just, manifest this, manifest that. Sometimes I really laugh. I look at some comments from some religious people when they realize that imagination creates reality. And all they're talking about is how much money they want, and still talking about Jesus and in Jesus' name and this kind of foolishness. So until you take it from another angle to show them, hey, this is all about self-realization. Abdullah wasn't stupid. Abdullah knew exactly what he was doing. So my brother, my sisters, as I would have said before in a video, the Ark of the Covenant have come back. Embrace the Ark of the Covenant, man. It's all mental. It's all psychological. Look to Ethiopia. That's the cradle of all civilization. Believe you me. And this wasn't taught to me by any man until an ancestor appeared to me in a dream. And I've had many dreams, and I've never seen any Jesus that looks like a Caucasian, or they tell you he's a Jew and Jew look as all bullshit. It's all bullshit, my brother, my sisters. So it's time to wake up and embrace your ancestors. That's my message to you. That's why I will always give Abdullah his due respect, because even those who would have written no Negroes allowed and so on, never tell you that Abdullah defy all of that. He would buy his ticket to go to the opera and so on. Show a man who live in dominion, power and authority, because why? He know his true identity is his divinity. So my brother, my sisters, my message to you is you have to know who you are and use that power to achieve your every desire. You must know that you can survive under any condition, because riches and poverty have to do with your mentality, not how much money you really have. Because a person can have $1 billion and be unhappy. But when you find your true self and you know who you are, you don't speak about the economy and what is happening in the economy. Look around you. Nature gives you everything you need. You can live simply. You see, because I grew up in the Caribbean, I can walk barefoot if I feel like. I can go and live in the mountain if I want to. I can live in a cave if I want to. And I can survive. There's enough food anywhere in the mountain. You can hunt in the mountain. You understand? If you want meat. There are yam, all these things that are in the earth that you can just dig. There are fishes always in the sea. But many of us, we want to live certain kind of life. And we do anything for it. You see? So, my brother, my sisters, embrace your ancestors and love your ancestors. And let me say this as I come to an end. Neville said, Abdullah wore a turban, read between the lines. And he came from Ethiopia. So, with that being said, my brother, my sisters, I want to thank you very much. I want to say if this is the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying makes sense to you, it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I'm encouraged to subscribe, to like, to comment, to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, I would encourage you to follow me at Black Mad Guru. And also, if you haven't checked out the Inner Sun Science and Technology course, or the Inner Sun Engineering, to create your reality consciously, you can check it out. It's on my Patreon. Okay, so you can check it out. And we are living in a time whereby, you know, those who are giving you a SON and tell you that the SON is the light of the world, because there's a church right next to me here that says Jesus is the light of the world. I always ask them, if Jesus is the light of the world, what happened to that up there? What happened to the sun up there? Okay. And now they want to dim the sun. They want to block out the sun from the people of the sun. The ice people want to block out the sun. There's the ice people and there's the sun people. Just like how you have the sheep and you have the goat. And they're all animals. We are all people here. Okay? We are all human beings. Okay? But there's the ice people and there's the sun people. And they want to block out the sun to cool the earth and talk about global warming. No, they want to block that light within you. As I always said to you, the sun parallels the human imagination. The human imagination parallels the sun. And without the sun, there is no life and there is no light. And you are told also that the Lord thy God is a sun and a shield, and no good thing with he withhold from you. And that's in Psalms 84:11. And common sense will teach you that the sun is what powers all of humanity and give all of humanity's energy. Then it tells you also again in Malachi chapter 4 and verses 2 that the sun, the S-U-N, yes, the S-U-N, of righteousness shall arise in you with healing in his wings. That's why I'm bringing healing to you. That is why when I had that experience and burst my crown chakra and came out and became invisible, I tell you, I get connected with the sun, the S-U-N. Yes, there was a birth, but it doesn't stay there. Okay, so that's why, my brother and my sisters, Neville said someone will come and take this message further. I am the only one on the internet who is taking you further. All of them is telling you about the law. Manifest this, manifest that, manifest this, manifest that. Who do you expect to come on here to give honor to Abdullah? One who doesn't look like Abdullah? You will live long enough and you'll never see that. So with all of that being said, my brother, my sister, I would like to say, if you would like to support this work by any other way, we have a PayPal down below and you can check it out. Also, I've been doing some blogs and my new website, alanhansonwisdom.com, and you can check it out. I think I have about 13 to 14 blogs already, and I'm going to continue writing blogs. But I want to know that you check it out. I want to get your comments and so on. I know that you're supporting this website, and it will really encourage me to continue to write blogs and to be more involved. I want to get more involved in the lives of our people, because I'm here and life is very short, and we want to be more productive and produce as much as we can for our people. And let me say this as I come to an end. Teach the young ones what you learn late in life. Teach them early. So with that being said, my brother and my sisters, I want to say peace. I love you all. I'm out. Love and appreciate. Embrace your ancestors.